Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to OPH Classics walkthrough of Wonder Boy in Monster World. This is the unscripted walkthrough of Wonder Boy in Monster World live, doing a live walkthrough. You did catch us last time. We just finished up collecting all the undersea plunder, all the random chests and stuff that you get once you gain access to the Trident and are able to go underwater. Now we're going to go ahead and go to Poseidon Shrine and get our way through Poseidon Shrine. Again, this is part 7 of the walkthrough, Poseidon Shrine. So we're going to go ahead and jump down into the water back towards Poseidon Shrine, which is just off to the right of the castle area where you will have seen me start out. Go ahead and just swim back through this, basically doing exactly what I did last time, just speeding through here the same way I sped back, just to gain access to Poseidon Shrine really quickly, because I don't really want to take a bunch of time to do this, as I've already been through this area twice. So we're going to go ahead and head back. Got a couple monkeys along the way. Should probably just jump over these guys, but I don't want to take too much damage, as Poseidon Shrine is kind of an irritating area with a lot of annoying creatures that we're going to have to fight in there, and I don't want to take too much damage before I fight them all off. Apologize about clearing my throat there. I'm going to go ahead and just head across all the way to the end here, jump down and swim the final little length to Poseidon's Shrine. Poseidon Shrine is located, of course, at the end of this and at the bottom. So here's the entrance of Poseidon Shrine. I'm gonna go ahead and go inside of here. Get some nice Wonder Boy and Monster World music here. I do definitely love the music inside of this dungeon. It reminds me of my childhood, something fierce, mostly because I spent a lot of hours in this dungeon, simply dying again and again due to the skeletons in this dungeon, the skeleton knights, which you will see me fight shortly, who are complete assholes. Now I will mention there are quite a few creatures we do fight here. We fight jellyfish, we fight the skeleton knights, as well as the underwater murlocs and the armored murloc knights. As well as I do believe there are big fish in here as well somewhere, and maybe even some giant crabs, but I'm not sure about the crabs. So, this should be an interesting portion of the walkthrough. A little bit of motivation is required for this, which is one of my favorite and least favorite parts of this game. So, to start off, we're going to go ahead and just jump up right away and show you guys the skeleton knights, which are assholes and deal way too much damage to you. A really easy way to kill these things is simply hit them once and then jump into the air without moving and just keep swinging when you get to the peak of your jump. If you time it just right, you can get through them fairly easily without getting hit. Now, I know that this looks fairly easy to do. I've spent countless hours getting my ass kicked by these things. So that strategy definitely works fairly well for me when it comes to killing off the skeleton knights. Now, there are, of course, the heart that you saw me collect over there by jumping at the end, as well as this area where you can collect a few more large gold pieces to add to your gold collection, which should be growing pretty high by now. And I know you're looking at my gold thinking, it's way more gold than you've ever had, you know, at least you won't need gold for a while. Trust me, that's not even enough gold to get what I need in the next area. Now, we do have a bunch of these, like, mermaid, murloc knight guys that we're fighting off. These guys are assholes. They don't deal too much damage to you, though, but they are kind of annoying, and you probably will get hit by them a few times. Now, at the end of this middle end row here, you'll see these 3 different rows, one at the top, one in the middle, one at the bottom. Now, the one in the middle does contain a heart piece, which will increase your maximum heart containers. This top one has a little red button switch thing you need to destroy with your trident in order to stop fans. These fans that are blowing you back somewhere inside of Poseidon Shrine. So every time you destroy one of these little red switches here, it's going to turn off another set of fans somewhere inside of this area, usually allowing you access to further in. The first set of fans that we turned off were these fans here. Now that's what those switches did, allowing us access to this area here. Now we are going to swim up to the top here against these fans and hit another switch there, as well as drop all the way down to the bottom and hit another switch located at the bottom here. Once you've hit both of these switches, you can continue upwards as opposed to being pushed down by these fans and pushed back by these ones. So you can go up here and across this little minefield to yet another chest that is located inside of here, this containing one of probably the best support magic in the game, in return magic. Now it is very important to get this magic here, as there is only one return magic in the entire game, and unlike all of the other magics in the game, you don't ever collect multiple uses of them. You have one return, which you can use one time until it is replenished. Return magic will take you to the last inn that you slept overnight at instantaneously. It will teleport you there, getting you out of combat, allowing you to go back and get your life, or get your life back, get your magic back. Basically, it's oh no, I'm gonna die. I can teleport back to the last inn I was at, kind of like a waystone in World of Warcraft, something like that. A great item to have, especially in the trickier parts of these dungeons. Now, one thing that I'm going to say and actually do here in this walkthrough is avoid fighting all of these armored merfolk here. If you fight them all, chances are after a while they will deal enough damage to you that you're probably going to have to use your potions, or maybe even use the elixirs that you've saved up from earlier in the game, and you just don't want to do that. I mean, if you want to fight them all off, you can, but it's better to just try and avoid fighting them. And again, you swim very quickly in this game if you have the marine boots on, as well as the trident equipped. So if you have both those things equipped, you can go ahead and just swim through them and navigate through them pretty quickly without getting hit. And that's one of the things that really set aside the difference between when I was trying to do this as a kid and spending countless hours losing gear, and me doing this now, is I am literally willing to just walk away knowing when a dungeon is just really difficult. And there's no real point in killing all these creatures off. None of them drop anything specific. Most of them just drop gold, and the gold that they drop compared to the large bags of gold that we have received in the game, it's a minuscule amount of gold, so it's not really worth it to pick it up. Now, I would mention again, when you jump out of here on the left side, there's a chest located here. Again, this is one of those chests where if you have an elixir, it's going to spawn a full heart for you, and if you don't have an elixir, it will spawn an elixir for you. So I, of course, still have my elixir, as I have not taken fatal damage yet in the game. So that's just going to spawn a full heart and get me back to full life, which is a great thing, especially at this point in the dungeon, because I had taken a substantial amount of damage and was kind of worried about, how many times I was going to get hit and things like that. Now I can kind of just more freely move about the dungeon. When you're moving across this top area and fighting off all these skeletons, it's great to have your thunder magic equipped in case you are trapped fighting them. You can simply just, spam your thunder magic and kill them all off, which, again, they can deal a good amount of damage to you. Those are probably the reason that this dungeon is so hard. When you do reach this room, you want to drop all the way down to the bottom and swim across the bottom, and then swim up. If you do swim all the way back up, you will be pushed by the fan back towards where you started. So you want to take this little left opening here and head over here and fight off these jellyfish. If you have thunder magic still when you do arrive here, it's sometimes good to use the thunder magic, especially once you're coming back up through here, as this part can be a little bit difficult to navigate because we do actually have to come back through here as well. And if you try and swim over these guys, they're really just going to hit you with their projectiles and damage you and push you back down. Once you do get here, I do suggest taking the time to fight off this fish. Now, there's a few different strategies into killing it. I usually just swim up, stand direct, swim directly in front of it, and poke it a few times. But I have enough life there where I was just going to kind of put myself in the corner and spin my staff. I didn't really worry about the damage I was going to take, as it usually does give you a full life heart. When you reach the bottom here, this is Poseidon here. So we are going to go ahead and swim across, and then it's going to automatically take you over to him and put you into dialogue with him. He's going to tell you that you're finally here, the legendary hero, that the Elder Dragon is waiting for you. But before Cheyenne meets him, he must visit the Sphinx to increase his strength. And it tells you there's a pyramid just beyond the Mahi Desert, or Mahu Desert, I don't know what that said. I'll have to read it later. And that there is an item that will help you cross the desert that is hidden somewhere inside of this shrine. Now, if you remember, there was a chest back there a little bit ago that I skipped. We didn't have access to it, but now that he is telling me to find this item and gain and go talk to the Sphinx, I actually it deactivates a fan that deactivates once you have that dialogue, and allows you to gain access to the boots that are there, which I believe are the desert boots. So we're going to go ahead and swim across, back over this, and down here into this first opening, where this fan will now be off and allow us to fall down and collect the desert boots. Oasis boots, there we go. So now that we have our Oasis boots as well, we can go ahead and just open our menu, go to our magic, and equip our return magic and return back to town. Teleport saves us a lot of time. We don't have to swim all the way across all of that madness again, and it gets us directly to our inn right away. Now that we do have access to the next area, we do also have access to this shop that is right over here. It's a great shop and has some great weapons inside of it. Very pricey weapons. We're going to help him celebrate the grand opening of this shop. This is Wonder, and the finest weapon. This is Wonder, the finest weapon shop in the land. So let's see what they have to offer. The finest weapon shop in the land has Excalibur for 2,500 gold, depleting my gold significantly. And it also has this steel shield, which is going to run you a cool 2,000 and deplete my gold pretty much down to 0. So all that fancy gold I saved up through all those chests pretty much all gets wasted on this shield and this sword. So now that we do have Excalibur, we're going to go ahead and equip Excalibur as well as this steel shield, and it's going to really amp up our damage as well as our ability to defend ourselves with this shield. We're also going to want to equip the Oasis boots now that we're out of the water. The Oasis boots are going to allow us not only to move, fairly decently, but it allows us to navigate the desert that we're about to enter and not take a bunch of damage trying to, navigate this desert. So I do appreciate you tuning into the stream, part 7 here of the stream, Poseidons Shrine. And we'll go ahead and pick this up again, part 8 or 9, whatever it is, which is going to be the desert area and gaining access to the pyramid. So thanks again for tuning in for OPH Classics. This is our live walkthrough of Wonder Boy in Monster World. If you do like the content, hit that like button, smash the subscribe, and go ahead and pound the alarm for live notifications every time OPH does go live. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Just here in just a bit, I should be doing another stream. So thanks again for tuning in, guys.